Yeah, hey Mikel, Brooks Sullivan with the Courier-Journal. You guys, it took you until the 3-minute mark of the first half to commit a turnover. You will finish with only 6 tonight. I'm just wondering, from your perspective, what was really clicking for you all, just in terms of passing the ball around, getting movement, and just not being just not coming up with those mistakes.
Honestly, it started with the defensive end. Getting stops early. Holding them to one shot. Boxing them out. And getting in transition and just getting easy buckets. I think that's where we're at our best when we play in the open court. We don't have to play in the half court all the time. We play fast. Clapbacks when they score. Even when they score, we're trying to get it on and, get easy buckets in transition. So I think that's what's the separator.
CL Brown, Courier-Journal. Do you guys remember the first time, whether it's practice, pickup in the summer, that you actually played together? And when do you feel like the continuity set in for you two as a backcourt?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want to give all glory to God just to be in this position, and play with just such a great group of guys. But, I mean, I remember just first playing with Kel just over the summer, probably back at the end of May, just in an open gym. And, I mean, he's just different. He's just a different type of guy, different type of player. He's just a different type of person, and I just love just to play alongside him. And I think just, as the year went on and, just months of working together, we kind of learned one another's games and learn how to play off of each other. And, we just got to keep on working, keep on learning. So.
Steve Bittenbender, Associated Press. Mikel, obviously you came in with a lot of hype surrounding you being one of the highest recruited freshmen in the country. To come in and have a game like this, just I think 3 points off the freshman scoring record, against against your school's biggest rival. Is this kind of what you expected from yourself when you committed to the Cardinals, or do you kind of see yourself being able to even top this as the season goes on?
Man, I really don't look into my stat line. The biggest thing for me is coming out with the win. And that's whatever I got to do to get that win, I'm going to do it. So I think tonight, they encouraged me to just keep going and keep being aggressive and keep making plays, and that's what I did tonight, and I think that was a separator for us.
This is for both of you guys. Just if you can just talk about the offensive game plan tonight. It seemed like you guys' passing was on point. You guys seem like you're getting more comfortable playing as a unit, and we're pretty much able to get good looks almost every time down the court. What was kind of the focus tonight attacking that UK defense?
I would say our offense just started on defense, just getting stops and getting out of transition. That's what we stress, in practice and different things like that. And, that's how we love to play, just very fast pace and getting out of transition and getting stops on defensive end. And I think that's what we did well tonight and, helped us on the offensive end. So.
And I'm also, shout out our bigs, Sananda, Ali, Vaughn was in there. I don't want to consider Vaughn a big, but, the people that do the dirty work inside and the interior, they played hard today. They helped us out with boxing out. We came in and cleaned it up and got out in transition, and they played they butt off. So I think that was another separator for us. I want to give them props as well.
Yeah.
Shungar, WDRB. Mikel, what statement did you make today, dropping 29 against Kentucky as a true freshman?
What statement did I make? I mean, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I trust my work. And I know how much work I put in to get to this point. There's been a lot of hours put into the gym, them unseen hours, they come onto the court, and I think it's just expected of me. That's the expectation I set myself to. And without the help of my teammates, I don't think it's possible. So they definitely encouraged me to be myself.
Brandon Reboyne, WHAS 11. Donovan Mitchell was sitting courtside, and I noticed in the final minutes, he was telling you guys, calm down. He was dapping you guys up. What would it mean to just have him courtside and kind of have him there for those final minutes?
It means everything. He supports us so much on and off the floor. He cares for us. He's always talking to us, coming to our practices, and, just having him just on the sideline there, it's just, nothing but a blessing. We're just super thankful for his support and just everything he brings just to the program. So.
Yeah, he's been in our shoes before, so, down the stretch, they going to make a run. That's just a game of basketball. It's a game of runs. He just kept telling us, stay composed, stay calm, weather the storm, and get the job done.
Excuse me. Knowlton Alfred, the Louisville Cardinal. U of L hasn't beaten Kentucky at home since 2022. What does this mean as a win for you as a player and the team as a whole?
I would say, it means a lot. Just, shout out to just all the fans, just everyone that supports us day in and day out, through the highs and through the lows. It means a lot to them, and we just knew we had to get the job done, and so, yeah.
Yeah, we knew how important this game was, especially for our fan base. We walk down the street, go to class, and they telling us, man, beat UK. Like, beat UK, that's all we care about, and, to be able to get the job done for them meant a lot to us.
Eric Crawford, WDRB in Louisville. What was Coach Kelsey's message after the game, and what was he like in the locker room?
My bad.
Man, very energetic for sure. I would just say PK is just not only just a great coach, but just a great person. Man, he's always with us, always has our back, and just the love he shows us on a day-to-day basis, and just through the highs and through the lows, we're just so thankful for it. So just to see him, smiling and happy, just put a smile on all our faces, and we're glad we got the job done, and we just got more work to do. So.
Yeah, you told us just enjoy the process, trust the process, every single day. Hold on. Excuse me.
Good, brother.
I'm straight, bro. Golly. Yeah, he just tells us, trust the process, and just be us. It wasn't really about them. It was just, we know how much work we put in since we stepped foot on this campus, and, it was just all about us this game, and I think that's how we played, and we played together, and, we got the job done.
Hey, you guys talked about, that game against Kansas and kind of starting slow and, not playing to your pace at times. I'm just wondering just how crucial it was to get off to a good start tonight and to be able to get the fans, back behind you and, versus and just how important it was, to have that experience of the Kansas game so early to kind of get you ready for something like this.
Yeah, I would say, we learned something from every single game. Every exhibition and every game that we played up to this point, we've learned something. And we know that, we just had to set the tone early just in this game. And we knew that, getting the crowd into it would be to our favor. So that's what we looked to do, and that's what we did.
Yeah, I think that game was needed just because, we didn't play to our standard that game. Obviously it was the first game, so very hyped for it. And over time, we just, went back to the drawing board and continued to, get better as a team and come together as a team. And I think that really helped us. And we've been through the fire already, so I think that's what helped us, come out with a punch and with a bang, from the first possession from the tip. So.
Cole Park with the Cats Pulse 247 for either of you. There was a lot of hype heading into the season for Otega Owe, potential SEC Player of the Year. You guys held him to a team low -16 and plus-minus. What was the game plan in kind of taking care of him, and what worked so well against him?
He's definitely just a great player, and we knew that, in order to win the game, we had to contain him for sure. But, coming to the game, we just knew like Kel said, it would just be us. No matter who we playing against, we're going to, play physical on defense and push the pace offensively. So that's what we plan to do tonight, and that's what we did. So.
Yeah, it wasn't just him. He's a great player, but it was almost everybody. Colin Chandler played really well for them. The bigs, played really well for them. Jalen Lowe played really well for them. It wasn't just him, but he definitely was, priority, just to, neutralize him in a sense. And I think that we executed that really well today.
And there's that picture of you outside the Center at like 8 or 9 years old. What would 8-year-old Ryan Conwell think of dropping 24 against Kentucky tonight? And more importantly, what would your grandpa think, who used to bring you here as a kid?
Man,
me.
Man, just my 8-year-old self just thought, just being in this position was something, out of reach. It's a dream. And just to be in this position, all I can do is just thank God. I'm just so blessed. Just my journey, just everything that I've been through, and to be able to perform at a high level just in a big game is just a blessing. And I don't want to talk about my grandpa too much. It's going to make me emotional, but I just know he's looking down on me just smiling. Yeah, it means a lot for sure.
Rashawn Myers, 96.1 FM. For both of you guys, there was a lot of talk about UK and their physicality and their inside game, and that being something that was going to be big in this game, especially coming off the Kansas game. Was that physical aspect and wanting to be the aggressor, was that a key point of emphasis for you guys coming into the game tonight?
Yeah. It was big for us. Watching the film, they're a very physical team. They switch a lot just because they have a lot of guys that are versatile. I think the biggest thing was just, we had to be us. As Coach said, come into this game. If we be ourselves, we'll be fine. And I think we executed that really well today. So.
For both players, Dusty Baker, Wave Sports, there was a lot of talk about how early in the season this game was. Now that you have this victory under your belt, how helpful is it to have a huge, significant victory like this early in the year to give you momentum moving forward?
It's definitely, good momentum for us going forward. Like PK always talks about, the most important thing is the next thing. We can definitely celebrate this win, and, we're all happy we got the job done, but we also have to keep it moving. The season's not over, and we have more games to play, so we have to continue to prepare each and every single day and listen to what the coaches are telling us and, continue to trust one another, and we'll be good.
Yeah, I think, it was great, to get this win just to build confidence in a sense. But it's on to the next one, We're going to enjoy it tonight, probably, go tomorrow. We have that day off, but I'm sure everybody, is going to get what they need to get done. And then Thursday is the most important day just because this is the next practice for us, and we're going to get prepared for this next game on Saturday. So,
piggybacking off that question, what, if anything, did you guys kind of prove to yourself tonight in playing a comparable kind of talented team and being challenged in that way?
I would say that we're just a hard playing together team. Just in the game, there was ups and there was downs. And, adversity came and, we stuck together and we didn't fold. And I think, in order for us to, have great success down the road, we have to continue to, build on that. And I think that that's something where we did in the game, and I'm proud of us for doing that. So
yeah.
And Mikel, my first question kind of got cut off before you could answer. I just wanted to know when you felt like you kind of knew Ryan's game and you felt like y'all clicked.
I think, that first pickup game, guarding him, he's experienced and he's been through the fire already at this collegiate level. And to be able to, play alongside him, I try to learn his game every single day, learn where his spots are, learn where he likes the ball. In transition, he's one of my guys that I look for just because he's very dangerous in transition and he gets downhill, plays off his jumper a lot just because he's 40+% shooter. So to be able, to play alongside a player like him, definitely not going to take it for granted. So
that means a lot, bro.
All right, thank you all.
Wait, one more thing. I just want to give a shout out to, all our managers, the staff behind the scenes. Me and Kel are up here in the forefront, because of, of how we played today. But, we couldn't have got it done without, all our coaches, the staff, the managers, just everybody part of 25 Strong. And, we love them and we appreciate them. So I want to give them a shout out for sure.
For sure.
You too, DB.